What's up, guys? My name's Joe, and today we're going to be taking a look at two very awesome mice. One very awesome mouse in particular, but, oh, where did I put it? Here we go. So, today we're just going to be I'm going to be comparing the new 2014 Naga Razer model to the original Razer Naga. So, let me go ahead first, and we'll start with the original Naga. Now, this is my friend's mouse. Shout out to him. Thank you, Alex, for letting me borrow this thing. This thing is actually a really great mouse. Even though it is the first model of the Naga, it is still a very, very nice mouse. So, let me go ahead and take my lens off here so that you can kind of see in close. If it can focus. Focus, please. Alright, yeah. So, here we have the Razer Naga original. As you can see, it's not exactly a big mouse. Like, I have really big hands, and if you look at it in my hand, my finger kind of comes over the button, and so while this may not be, well, let me angle this down a bit, just a tad. So while this may not be the best mouse for a very big-handed person such as myself with very long fingers who actually uses a palm grip, which I do use. I use sort of a halfway. I use a palm grip and a claw grip. Basically, I use a palm grip for casual games like Minecraft and I don't know, Terraria, just MMOs, kind of stuff like that. And I use a palm grip for those types of games. But when it comes to like first-person shooters, which I also believe that the Naga is a very great mouse for first-person shooters. Battlefield 4 in particular. I've used this mouse with Battlefield 4 ever since I got Battlefield 4, actually, and it is a phenomenal mouse for FPS gaming because a person with long-handed or long fingers like myself can easily claw the mouse and get a lot of control. See, I put my index finger on the mouse 1 button, obviously, middle finger on mouse 2, and my ring finger actually goes in this little, focus please, in this little crevice right here, and just kind of claws that little crevice while my pinky sort of sits on the outside, and my thumb rests on the side buttons, which I actually believe are very useful for if you maybe want to throw a grenade or reload. You can bind your keys to these side buttons. There are 12 of them through the Razer Synapse software, which I believe is an amazing software. Best mouse software, actually, that I've encountered in my long search for the perfect mouse for me. So that is the Razer Naga original. Kind of small mouse, scroll wheel's great. The only thing that really bugged me about the original Naga is the fact that it had these two little buttons on the side of the mouse 1 button, which actually were quite inaccessible and unreachable and basically useless. This was sort of their approach for the forward and back buttons. Focus. And as you can see right there, the forward button and back button, they are super uncomfortable to try and use. So if you like the design of the Razer Naga original but do not like these side buttons, go ahead and get the Razer Naga 2012, which I believe keeps the same general design, but the forward and back buttons are here. And my dog just came into my room. Get out of here. I'm trying to do something. Go on. Get. So the next mouse we're going to be taking a look at is the Razer Naga 2014 edition, which is quite an improvement from the previous editions, if I do say so myself. I like pretty much everything about the Naga 2014 upon first look. It is super comfortable. Like, I mean super comfortable. Even for someone with long hands like myself, I can palm it very easily, and it's not like a palm grip where your palm actually comes straight to the back of the mouse, but it's more of a fingertip grip. But even with a fingertip grip, it feels like a palm grip because it's so freaking comfortable. Like, you don't even know. You have to get this mouse if you are a palm grip or claw grip. Basically any grip is absolutely great for this mouse. My cat is interrupting my videos now. So let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Razer Naga 2014. Let me take off my lens again and zoom in. So here we go. Please focus, please. All right, thank you very much. So here's the Razer Naga 2014. As you can see, it is actually quite a wider mouse from the Naga 2012. Actually, let me grab that and we'll compare them here. It's actually a very wide mouse compared to the, well, not the 2012, no. This is the original, but even the 2012 and the original kind of use the same design, and this is quite wider from those two. So we're going to be taking a look at some of the changes for the good or for the bad. So, one change. First change that I noticed is the tilt scroll wheel, which actually goes, not only can you press it down, but you can tilt it right or left and actually bind those tilts to a certain key. So if you're playing an MMO and want to use a spell or something like that, you can click that, bind it to a certain key that you would originally use for that spell. If you're playing FPS, maybe you want to throw a grenade, click it to the right, you can throw a grenade if you bind it to that via your Razer Synapse 2.0 software. Whereas the 2012, or I keep saying 2012, the original Naga and the 2012 Naga did not have that feature. It only had a, well, please focus, please. It only had a clickable scroll wheel. You could not tilt it. The scroll wheel, in comparison though, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. I will try and get it as close as I can to the lens. But as you can see, oops, as you can see on the original Naga, the scroll wheel has solid notches in it, and the Naga 2014 has like 3 little dots kind of in it for extra grip, which I think is actually really nice because I found on the original Naga my finger was kind of slipping around just a little bit on the scroll wheel. And whereas this, it's a little bit more rounded and it has that dot pattern for extra grip, so I can actually scroll with it, tilt it to either side, and I don't really hit the tilt sides actually accidentally. It's only when you're clicking the mouse button down that you may sometimes tilt it to the left or right by accident. So, with the scroll wheel out of the way, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the ergonomical changes. As you can see, like I said before, the Naga 2014 is wider than the original Naga and the Naga 2012. But unlike the Naga 2012, this actually does not have interchangeable side plates, which I felt was kind of a big step for Razer to actually just kind of say, well, we're going to do away with those because we are so confident in the ergonomics of our new mouse that we are just going to get rid of that. And honestly, I can say they seriously took the cake with that one. That the ergonomics with this, even though I have the biggest hands, like, based upon my face, you can see how big my hands are. But even with someone with big hands, using a fingertip grip is super comfy for me, honestly, because it's not really a palm grip, it's not really a claw grip. I'm sort of palming the mouse, but at the same time kind of scooting my fingers back just a tiny bit, which is actually great. And you can actually palm this mouse with no problem, fingertip grip it with no problem, and I've actually found that you can actually claw it with absolutely no issues as well. I kind of claw it with the same method that I do on the original Naga, having my thumb resting on the side buttons, which, by the way, are now mechanical, so they are really tactile, really clicky, and at the same time, you're not going to be mushing them down, and they're not going to be so hard to press as they were on the Naga original and Naga 2012 edition. But I rest my thumb there. I have my fingers angled, mouse 1 and 2, obviously, and again, my ring finger actually fits perfectly in the little crease that Razer has implemented into this mouse, and my pinky actually rests on the great rubber gripped side that is on this mouse that kind of resembles the Death Adder. It's actually the same material that they use on the Death Adder, but as you can see, the original Naga did not have that, and if my camera would actually focus, that'd be great. But yeah, so that is a change as well. Also, the forward and back buttons, nothing different from the 2012. They are right here behind the scroll wheel, so it is not very hard to click those if you have pretty long fingers, but if your fingers are a bit short and stubby, you might have a bit of a problem there. But as you can see, new buttons. They are clicky, tactile, and provide great awesomeness. You can click them a lot easier is what I'm trying to say. But as you can see, I will kind of click the button for you. I don't know if you can hear that. But it actually is like a keyboard now, rather than like a big mushy set of buttons that sound really nasty, honestly. But I'm super, super excited about this mouse because it's just better in every way from the original Naga. Another feature, which you are not going to be able to tell personally on camera, but I can tell definitely with having the mouse here, the finish on the top is actually sweat resistant. It's a little bit grainy. I can't even see it with my own eyes in person, so you're definitely not going to be able to see it on camera, but if you feel it, if I rub it, you can hear it's a little bit grainy, whereas on the original Naga, it's a little bit smooth. So if that's something that you're not going to like, I honestly don't find it to be too big of a problem. I actually like it because if you're like me, when you're playing like an FPS game or something of that nature, your hands sweat quite a lot. But that's not too big of a problem for me, just something Razer changed that I thought should be mentioned. Also, it's not really the same material on the place where your ring finger rests. It's sort of a rubbery material there, so I don't know if that is the same material or not, and my mind's just playing tricks on me. I don't think it is, but it's a little bit more rubberized there. The sensor in it is now an 8200 DPI sensor, whereas this one was a... I'm trying to remember. I don't remember. I want to say it went up to like 5600 maybe, but they definitely updated the sensor as well on this mouse, so it is now 8200 DPI, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. There is no plausible reason that you would ever need that much DPI, that much sensitivity on a game. It's sort of one of those, like, because you can things, like, oh, I have 8200 DPI on my mouse, that makes me awesome. No, it's just something to brag about, I guess. But, the feet on the two Razer Nagas, as you can see, Razer went with two small Teflon feet on top and one big one that covers pretty much the entire half of the bottom. So, right there. And the original Naga did not have that design. It actually had one single piece of Teflon foot that went around the entire mouse on the bottom, which actually was a nice design. Another thing that Razer changed from the original, and I think the 2012 had this as well, I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but on the original, you could actually switch the numpad here from your key bindings to act as an actual number pad, so if you went into a Word document or something like that and hit the 1 key, a 1 would pop up there. And they actually did get rid of that switch, but I think, maybe, possibly, I don't know, but I think that you might be able to change that within the Razer Synapse software. So, I'm not really too worried about that because I don't really use it as a numpad, but anyway, another purely cosmetic change that actually has no effect on the ergonomics or anything is the front grille here. It actually has two front grills, kind of like the Ouroboros, and I personally think that looks super cool, whereas the original Naga just had those plastic strips. So, that's about it for the differences of these two mice. I'm going to be having a review coming out on this pretty soon, because while I don't do gaming videos anymore, I do still game, and I do still review lots of products, so thank you guys for watching this, and if you liked it, if you thought it was very in-depth and nice, go ahead and click that subscribe button, like it, do whatever you want, I don't care, but there's the Razer Naga 2014, Razer Naga Original. You guys tell me in the comments which one you liked more. Thanks a lot for watching, and I will see you in the next video.